Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Well, hello, everybody. Good day. I said good day. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Powered by DealsInTheD.com with Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Hi, Mike.
How are you, my
How's it
friend?
going, dude?
It's going good.
Good.
It's going good. Yeah, making our way through the week. I'm excited. It's TDC 1000 week officially, and
It's come upon us, finally.
Gross, I know. The posts are going around. And
Hashtag TDC 1000.
Yeah, and so we've got an exciting week. Yeah, I can't believe we've reached 1,000 shows, and we're closing in on it, so I'm excited
Before
for that.
we forget, can we send out a special thank you to Stacy Gingras just one more time?
Wait,
Gingras.
should be Gingras,
I
but
know, it
fine,
totally
Gingras. Yeah, I mean, have a J there. Have a J there.
StacyFineArt.com. Stacy with an E. StacyFineArt.com. She does an amazing job. I mean,
Do you know what her specialty is? Is it photography or is it
she does a ton of
Photoshop?
photography.
Because both of them are top notch.
Have you seen her top-notch pencil drawings? Go to
Dude.
StacyFineArt.com.
Is
She
that what
does
she
graphic
did
design,
with the ones?
She does photography. She does like realtor stuff. She does like posing of houses for realtors and proofs. She takes lots of photos of proofs.
It's not realtors, by the way. It's realtors.
Realtors. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Did I go back to my Michigan roots?
Wasn't the first one that she did for us like me as Bowie and E on a horse, or were you on a horse or?
No, E was a centaur or some shit. Look, here's the bottom line. People do an amazing job out there with the memes and all that. We appreciate all those that go around.
not
me as
really.
Han
We can
Solo,
say
all
that.
that stuff. There's, a lot of people are dicking with our faces, putting them on stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not a fan.
She's what?
Not a fan. Dude, I'm getting my ass whooped on social media right now because I bashed memes. I was like,
Really?
come up with your own fucking thing. Don't just lift a funny quip or sentence from someone and then use it as your own. And people are just murdering me for
My point was
daring to say
just
that.
a build up to heap praise on Stacy.
Yeah.
Because there's the run of the mill guy who does the memes, does some different things with us. And then she comes in and it's like pro period
it's
photography.
Yeah. It's no bullshit is what it is.
Really nice stuff. But dude, check out the hashtag on Twitter if you haven't already. Some of the stuff she's thrown out there in terms of like these little, wake up in the morning with TDC and there's like coffee spilling and it's amazing.
If you're not terribly familiar, and it took us a while to kind of get our head around Twitter, like it seemed not worth it for a long time. I love Twitter now. It's my go-to for news in a lot of respects. But if you just go and at the search at the top, just do hashtag TDC1000 and just scroll through the hundreds of things that people have said, and you'll see all the
deep right now.
all the art, and it's great. Yeah, it's really cool. People have really taken off to it, so it's cool. Yeah, and Stacy Fine Art, awesome work. She did our poster.
Yep,
The
our poster.
yeah.
She did the lead ups to the poster with all the Santa Claus stuff. And
Yeah,
everything.
I mean it's incredible that we've got a pro willing to put in all that time.
Honestly,
all that
she's
time and work
given
for
us thousands of dollars of work.
Yeah.
It's just really, it's been awesome. It's
Yeah.
been a godsend. So thank you. Hey, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, our friends at Zott Ford need your help. The hottest sales staff in Oakland County is sick of brooming snow off the 300-plus cars and moving them all to plow. They need to drastically reduce their inventory. So jump your fat with a PH ass into your broken-down hoopty and head to Holly to get your fresh whip now. Zott Ford will meet or beat any deal, period. Surf their snowy deals and their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Jay, when you walked in, I couldn't help but notice it. I'm not going to say it looked like you'd been crying, but clearly there was some redness under your eyes, and it sounds like there was a death in the community.
Oh, yeah.
And I know this one hits home for us. Anytime there's a death, it's sad.
Well, I'm most concerned whether this. I've got a chair on order, and I don't know if this. Art Van Elslander died, founder of Art Van, and I presently, honestly, I've got one of those cuddle chairs and ottoman that's on order, and I just want to make sure this doesn't delay that in any way.
Did you reach out?
Because right now I've got a hole in my family room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hate the hole in the family room. Did you reach out to Art Van Elslander?
Elslander.
Elslander personally? I mean, did he take the order
He did not, but
Okay.
I figured, it's one of these homegrown businesses, so he had to have his hand in it, right?
You ordered this during the president's sale, right? The one weekend this year.
They did have a sale.
That the president's
Art
sale's
Van
going
had
on.
a sale going
Get
on.
out of here! Thank God. I know they have their president's sale once a
Dude,
year.
I go to the salesperson. I go, look, it's obvious you guys always have a sale. Just tell me
What?
when is the best
Since
sale?
when?
And she goes, yeah, you're right. Everything's always on sale, but there is this certain time of year where you can get, I don't know, 25% off, and it's like interest free or whatever. If you get their credit
It's
card.
always like no
some shit.
payments for 10
Yeah,
years or
right.
whatever.
You're getting
Right.
A plan, basically. You're getting A plan
Yeah.
on your love ottoman.
Yeah. No, my man, down goes Art Van Elslander, who I didn't even know really existed until like a year ago when he was like the chairman of a parade or something. I was like, I'll be damned. There's actually an Art Van.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of cool. I didn't know that either. I didn't know his last name, but Art Van. I mean, such a legendary name around this area. And
That guy.
Look at
that guy's
poops.
meant to be sitting in Birmingham.
Look
Isn't
at it, poops.
he? Look at that guy.
Yeah, it seems like since Art Van was around when we were little kids, I would have thought like if there was an Art Van, he'd be like 210.
Yeah, no, he died at 87, so which means he must have opened his store when he was like 30, his first store in
Wow.
Detroit. Because it was like a 1949 opening or something like that.
Do you know where they having a sale that weekend when they opened?
Man.
Was it President's
An
Day? or
opening,
anything?
an
I'm
opening
sorry,
day sale.
1959, he opened a 4,000 square foot shop in East Detroit.
Oh, okay.
His
Before the
first
riots,
store.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could do that then. Sure.
Yeah, and then they've got over 100 stores, 5 states, and yeah, it's quite everybody knows Art Van, that's for sure.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I had the pleasure
Look at
of
Mr. Van and team.
Oh,
The
awesome.
old press release from the original store.
Dude, it looks like a car dealership or something, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it sure
Art
does.
Van's Furniture. Dude, I had the distinct pleasure of being down in my old stomping ground, Canton, a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, by
And-
that IKEA. You were right across the street from that IKEA.
I was right across the street from that IKEA at an Art Van grand opening.
Oh no, really?
Dude, listen.
Wait, why
Look,
would you
listen.
open a fucking?
Look, listen.
Wait, why would you open an Art Van right across the street from IKEA right
Have you ever
now?
been to Ford Road? Ford Road has
Oh, dude,
everything.
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 It didn't when you lived there, but it does now.
It was well on its way when I lived there.
Yeah, there's a hidden gem over there too. That
What's
most
that?
people wouldn't know. There's a studio.
Oh,
over
I know
there.
where that is.
Dude.
Every time I pass it, I point it to my boys. They're like, no, it's not.
Dude.
It's just this nondescript thing on the corner.
You would not believe
Everybody
the people.
from Christina Aguilera to
Yeah.
Eminem, everybody flies in and just goes
Dude.
in the back door of this place, and it's just a shed.
I've been
man.
in there. Chuck, my buddy Chuck, you know Chuck too.
Sure.
Owns that place and bought it for quite a bit of money off the previous owner, and he does amazing recordings out of there. And he had me over one day, and he was like, "Hey man, I'm scoring this," and we'll get back to your story. I'm sorry, I mean to interrupt.
No.
interrupt you, but-
This is more important.
But he's like, I'm scoring that. I got there's a new movie coming out, and they want me to score it with this Rush track. It might have been Tom Sawyer actually, and he's like, they sent me the fucking masters, like the original track masters on reel to reel, and so he's like, dude, I've got Neil Peart's fucking original drum tracks and Geddy Lee's vocals and bass lines, and he's mixing. And dude, I sat in this
Can I
studio
stop
with him.
you for a moment?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think most people would pronounce it Neil
Peart. I
Peart.
know. I did for
Was
years.
that-
I think it's Peart.
So it's Porsche.
Yeah.
You just kind of you kind of did the I'm going to take a sip of my tea and leave my pinky up kind of thing. Neil Peart's drum tracks,
Dude, I
But
got
anyway, I just didn't want to let that sit. I wanted to make
I can
sure
appreciate
that.
that. I got his DVD, and they kept talking about Neil Peart, and I was like, "Fuck! I've been calling him Neil Peart forever."
99.9% of people
just
out
stupid.
there have
It's
called
like-
him Neil Peart.
Okay, bass player for Pearl Jam,
Yeah, Jeff Ament.
Jeff Ament. Yeah, right. No, it's Jeff Ament,
Okay.
and it's like, okay, I've been calling this guy fucking Jeff Ament forever.
It doesn't matter.
It does. Okay,
We know what you're talking about. Go on.
So anyway, I'm sitting in his studio, and he's like, he's got the board up in the reel to reel, and he's playing this stuff. And dude, I'm not kidding. I love going. You'll never see me with earplugs in at a concert. It's like fucking yeah, it's rock and roll. It is what it is, dude. Chuck has it so fucking loud, like it's not even.
It was uncomfortably loud.
It was uncomfortable. Like, and he, no matter what he was playing, it's cranked at a level that's not meant for human ears to deal with. And it's like, dude, is Chuck deaf now, or what's going on? Because this is just too fucking loud for humans.
Yeah, what's Chuck's end game here?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but Anyway, that's a hidden gem.
Yeah.
Also,
You
at
didn't ask
Canton.
him?
No, I couldn't.
Say,
I
Holmes,
couldn't hear.
why is it so loud, man?
I
just
didn't.
thought-
I didn't know sign language, and I couldn't hear. So I just
he
basically
played the
stumbled
music
out to
out.
my car.
He just played the music and he just walked out of your car.
While we were doing that, a band was coming in. And he was recording guitar tracks.
It was an awkward moment. He didn't have a chance.
So this guitarist is sitting there, and they're doing this. Of course, they're doing some heavy ass record, and this dude is just fucking wailing on a solo, just and it's like, oh my god, this is so loud. It's just not. I appreciate what you're doing, dude, but I got to crawl out of this room. It's just I'm not fucking hip enough to hang with these guys.
And you've
They're
never
just-
talked to him again since, where you could ask if he's deaf or not.
No, I've talked to him a few times, but yeah, from afar.
So that's Ford Road. You know Ford Road.
I know Ford Road
Yeah,
well.
well, Art Van. They needed an Art Van fucking center, like 2-story.
More
shit.
than they needed air in Canton.
Fuck. So we happened to be in town, and we're like, oh, let's stop. And didn't realize it was the grand opening. Dude, they had face painting. They had balloon animals. They had a DJ playing
Now
Bruno
you got to
Mars.
turn around and leave. Were the kids with you?
The kids are.
Oh, yeah.
They had cookies. It was like, oh my gosh, man! I almost filmed a moment of it and tweeted it out. but
When
I'm
was
like,
this?
A couple weeks ago.
Is this when you
Brutal.
bought your?
No, we were just like checking something out, and we decided, you know what, dude, we can't even handle this situation. We're going somewhere else. But I absolutely do have a cuddler on order right now.
Well,
And
I hope you
need-
get it. It's probably going to be delayed. Obviously, we got to get through the funeral and all that, but hopefully you get it soon. And God rest Art Van's soul.
Hey, how much money will you need in retirement? Are you sure you won't
Loads.
outlive your money? Having a plan today means that you can adjust as your life changes. Retirement doesn't have to be a mystery. Contact our buddy Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial today to learn the answers to one of the most important questions for your retirement. Call today, 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
And I'm telling you, if you're on the fence, call my man today. He's
Yeah.
a great dude. And people have emailed in and said, the guy's outstanding. I
He is
went,
outstanding.
I gave him my information, and he pushed it back to me and said, you're good, man.
Yeah.
Whoever's handling your stuff has it right. Nice to meet you. Do you want to hear any bullshit about the guys?
Look, listen, and this is no bullshit. Jay and I have a responsibility when we bring on a new sponsor. Jay and I actually do some vetting to make sure, like, because
Heavy vetting.
it doesn't do us any good if the guy's a fucking buffoon. Honestly,
Yeah.
like that's not good for us. Prime
not.
example is Brent Wasick.
Brent Wasick of Wasick Insurance Services.
Dude, we had a guy that wanted to do. There were a couple people actually that wanted to do the insurance thing on our show, and Jay and I were talking to him, and we were getting close,
Didn't feel right.
and it was just like this.
We kept coming
No
back
offense
to
to the
Brent.
guy, no offense to the guy, but it was just like I don't know how you're feeling, Jay, but I'm not terribly comfortable just like putting our names behind this dude, and that's what we called Brent. We're like, look, man, here's what we're dealing with. You know, what do
We
you
called
think?
Brent Wasick at 734-455-1900 and said, Brent, hey, come aboard, my friend. Yeah.
That is 100% true story. That we call Brent. We're like, dude, we feel much better.
Everybody
with
we
someone
deal
like
with
you.
is
And,
great.
yeah, and Merck is no different. We both have our money with him. I've got like $40 with him now.
I have my entire nest egg.
Yeah,
with
me
Merck.
too. $40.
I've known the guy since third grade. Again, kickball field.
Yeah.
I trust him with my entire nest egg.
And he was always the kid too. Like even though he was running with us, Merck was like half running with us. He was always like in a car behind us going to the party. He was
He was
always
always a bit more reasonable than us.
he was more responsible than us. He
He's
was
like, yeah, this will be fun, but
Yeah.
I have a future I have to think about.
Yes.
Mike and I were like, woo! Woo!
What happens if you light this paper lantern on fire?
I don't know, light it!
Holy shit, the whole house is on fire! And Merck was just like shaking his head like, you guys are fuck. I'm
Merck
leaving
was there
here.
with the fire extinguisher. If you guys want this,
Yeah.
here you go.
That was Merck. Honestly, you would not find Merck like in a room getting a hand job from a random skank.
Not
You know what I mean?
typically.
Not typically. Not saying it would never happen, but not typically. He was more responsible.
He's
even at
not
a young
against
age.
having his penis stroked to completion.
Of course not. Of course not. Anyway, long point.
Don't want to
proven.
make him sound weird, Mike.
My point is he was responsible even back then, and he's responsible now. It's a good one to have your money with.
Mike, is now not the time for me to bitch about snow days again? I feel like
Wait.
this comes up often.
Do you have another snow day today?
Can you just glance out the window for a moment?
There's
and
not a snow day today.
enjoy the sunshine.
Wait, there's not a fucking snow day today.
Let me just leave it at this. I had sort of a whole grievance ready to go.
Yeah.
But it's just, it would be a repeat grievance. Everybody's heard me bitch about this. I will simply say this. If you have kids and you're thinking about moving to Lake Orion, don't. Not if you want them educated.
Is it just Lake Orion?
You will get half. You will get half an education in Lake Orion.
Yeah.
It is fucking absurd. Okay, and they always reason it as, well, the buses can't get to the back roads. You know, the back.
There's nothing wrong with the back roads right
now.
now.
How about this? We stop catering to the 5%. This has many parallels to the transgender issue. We stop catering to the 5% and fucking care about the 95%. And if those kids on the back roads want to, come into the 21st century, and actually, live somewhere where you can get to school, then by all means, or you give them an excused absence and go, all right, dude, we can't get to you.
Yeah,
you get an excuse. Or maybe your parents drive you to another bus stop or something. I don't know. It's fucking bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
God damn it.
You've got a nice platform here, but I feel like your anger should be redirected and just like go to a school board meeting and just raise holy hell and see if you can't get half the room to go, here, here.
Let me tell you something. I bet you can't get a quarter of the room to go here, here.
Why?
Because everybody, well, the kids need to, we don't want to put them in danger and blah, blah, blah. It is, dude, this is part and parcel of what we talk about all the time. Just this, this change in our society of everybody.
It's not good.
Oh my God, somebody might get hurt, somebody might get offended. This is part and parcel of that. It really is. Like, they want the roads to not have any snow on them before we order our children to go to school.
Yeah.
And I hate to sound like a fucking old man, but dude, this is...
Dude, it hasn't snowed in 2 days. It's sunny. The roads are clear as shit.
There was zero snow last night, and it was not icy this morning.
No.
It really... You can
There's
tell
no reason. What is it? Do you think it's like lazy administration?
It's either fucking lazy opportunism, because let me tell you this. You see a lot of Mondays and Fridays, okay? So it's them going, we got like 8 of these to give. Why don't we just call one of these on a Monday and we can sleep in? Or they're just complete pussies. That's it, man.
They must be deathly afraid of, God forbid, some bus skids off the road and a kid gets a concussion or something. They'll lose their job, and now the whole school board is put on notice. They must be afraid of.
Dude, we could all put bubbles around our cars. I mean, cars could be 100% safe if we all wanted to go that route. If we all wanted to give up the access, the ready access, and the ease in terms of buying them, they'd be $100,000 each. But we could have a society like that. But give me a fucking break, man.
Yeah,
I mean, you could get hit by a chunk of ice falling from an airplane toilet as you walk outside. Shit happens.
I think
I'm all for minimizing risk, but my God, man,
it does go too far, and we're sensitive to it because we remember the days of like literally a foot of snow on the ground and still. Are you kidding me? It's like and it was always the Catholic schools were always off. They were off.
Yeah.
Well, it's too sunny out. We can't possibly. I mean, the bus driver could be blinded by that sun. We got to take the day off.
Yeah.
They were always off, but now, that's just weird. I just don't relate at all.
I hate to rehash it. I know people get tired of hearing that, but this was a day that was just so remarkably inappropriate. I couldn't help but mention it.
Well,
all right,
they're doing the same thing in the Olympics. For
bitching about the cold?
Dude, for 3 days now, they're like, the downhill skiing can't go. We're going to reschedule for Thursday because
it's 15
degrees. Windy and it's 1 degree.
Yeah, you're like, dude, I expected to hear it's minus 45 degrees or something like that, where it's super dangerous. It's 1 degree. It's 15 degrees, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking ski, man.
Well, it's icy. The track's icy. Well, yeah, it's winter. It's snow. It's a mountain. I mean, yeah, that's what I would expect. Really? We're canceling the events and pushing them for 3 days down the road because the wind is too strong and it's cold? Okay. And now I'm stuck watching fucking figure skating.
What they try to say with some of it is that they're trying to make it the most fair.
Yeah,
they're trying to say we're trying to make it the most fair competition, and we don't want one person to get. But dude, the wind. I mean, a gust could just happen, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I'm with that argument though. I mean, if you have the time to be able to toggle between and you can make it more fair.
I was watching the normal jump or whatever, and it was like every other person had to go to if they got to 90 seconds, then they'd pull them off the thing, then they'd sit there for 5 minutes, and then
that little wisp of a man we talked about yesterday, Red. What's his name? The USA guy, Red Garrett. Whatever. 155 pounds. He's getting thrown about by the wind. Okay, if you can wait a couple hours, if you can wait a day and have it be more fair. Okay, it is a once every 4-year competition.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, but I don't remember that ever happening. Though is the point. I don't remember 4 years ago, wherever, in Sochi or in Russia,
I don't
wherever
either.
they were.
Turin.
Yeah, I don't remember that ever being a thing where it's like, dude, seriously, the women's and men's like downhill competitions have been postponed and canceled for 3 days in a row now. And I just don't remember that ever happening. So I don't know if it's like way more extreme what's going on there now, or if it's just everyone's a pussy.
By the way, I know I know what I'm going to sound like. I'm going to sound like a female-hating person when I say this, but I was watching the women's snowboarders, and we talk about the 17-year-old boy. What's his name? Red. I forget his last name.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. He was nuts. It was like a video game. And then I was watching this. There was some 16-year-old girls snowboarding. Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Just
terrible.
They're far from terrible,
Yes,
for the record.
Yes, they were. I was watching, dude. The guys are going like, yes, the guys are jumping back and forth from like rail to rail, and they're just like going the one rail, then they go down.
Terrible. It's
terrible.
It is. It's
I'm sorry.
laughable more than it's terrible.
Okay,
Is that fair?
fine.
It's like, this girl is dominating this sport. She's 17. She was too young to make the Olympic team last year, but certainly good enough. And then they show it. It's like, she jumps into the bowl, and then it's like, ooh, a 360.
It's
She
so-
flips, and it's like, oh, that's cute. And then it's like, look at her grab the board and hold it, hold
It's
it.
like the WNBA versus NBA.
I know it
It's-
is. I know it is. but
They're just wispy and weak, and it's like 5'1", 94
Look, it's still
pounds. and-
incredibly more talented than me. I couldn't even do it. I get that. I couldn't
No.
do it if I tried in a million years. But it's just when I was just yesterday watching that dude, and I was like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. And then I was watching last night, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I just saw guys doing like 6 flips in the air and coming down and landing it, and then you see you're supposed to be like, ooh.
She rode the rail, and they're like, oh, that was good. That was
Wow,
good.
she
Very
stayed
technical.
on it.
I'm surprised there's such a gap between snowboarders because you look at like figure skating. We're about to talk about our American hero who
Sure.
did the first triple toe loop. I understand. I mean, you look
First
at the
American to do
Yeah,
it in the
okay.
Olympics, third total.
Maybe
see
this is
the-
just in this slope style thing that maybe if it was in the half pipe, I wouldn't notice.
Now
as
you see it in the mogul runs too, where the guys just
Although actually, I noticed
they're just so much faster and stronger. I mean, they just are.
I've been watching a lot of curling too, and dude, curling's awesome. Honestly,
Were you mesmerized by the Russian with the eyes? People are freaking out about
not
that
about
Russian
her,
with their
but
eyes.
curling
is it awesome?
It's
Or is
addicting.
is
It's addicting
okay.
to watch because it's
That might
very
be
That's
easy.
very well
That might be
said.
true.
Yeah.
It's just all you got to do is get the one thing closest, and then all the people, colors closest get points, and if they don't get
That
points.
was well explained. E.
Anyway, but they said there's mixed. I was watching the mixed, and like there's supposed to be, I think by the Summer Olympics like next year, there's going to be like 18 mixed events. They're going to have swimming where it's mixed. They're going to
Really?
and I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but it's kind of crazy. Like there more and more that we're going to see mixed competitions, not just men and female.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of sports where it would not make a difference at all, like curling.
Right.
Like, why
Yeah,
would it
curling's
make
a good one.
Or archery or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what other sports.
I mean, they said there's going to be swimming where it's going to
Yeah,
be
that's-
mixed. I mean, so you're going to have the guy fly there, and because it's the times, we're going to see what the different times are. I mean,
Curling is one of those ridiculous sports that I want to like get to be like a super fan level and go. I just like dream of drinking beers in the stands with like 3 other people because that's all that's there, and like really get into it and really be into curling.
Yeah.
And take it way too seriously.
Like adopt some guy as your own.
Yes, like totally, like adopt that sport as if it's a real thing.
Phil Lawson, holy shit, man, he's back. He's back
That would be
this
Can you
year.
believe
Awesome,
it? This is
dude.
so exciting. I mean, he had that horrible.
Mr. Lawson, can I get your autograph?
He had that horrible knee bruise a couple years ago that just hindered his whole year. It's like when we went to that. Remember, Jay, when we went.
Well, he's
when-
the only man to go from scrubber to brush man. I mean, you've not seen that change. That's,
Exactly.
the versatility. It's amazing.
Guy's amazing. It reminds me of like when we went. Remember that rafting trip we went on?
Yeah.
And we took like we had an extra raft
That
attached.
was
to
in
it.
Big Rapids.
We had like 12 rafts, and we all were on it. And then we had another raft that just held our keg.
Anybody who's been up to Ferris State has done this for sure.
Right. And we got shit faced.
We did indeed.
We got shit faced. And as we came off the water, there was like, 13-year-old girls playing softball. And
Mike has always had a proclivity for 13, 14-year-old
Yeah.
girls.
But we started like rooting for a specific team for no reason, obnoxiously drunk. And then I somehow grabbed a Sharpie and went into the dugout, and had, fuck's sakes!
What kind of curl was that? Is that the proper? Yeah, that's
I don't
what
know.
you say?
I don't know if that's the proper thing, but that is where the name comes from. is
What
that
kind
they
of curl was that? Okay.
Yeah, it was a
It's
bullshit
a throw.
curl.
I think it's just a throw.
It's a
but I mean,
bullshit curl. What'd you call it?
Curl.
That was a bullshit curl, Lewis. Come
got-
on,
you're
Lewis,
be-
you're better than
You're
that.
better than that.
And he's basically just in a pickup league on Wednesday nights,
You know, the curling club, the Detroit Curling Club, used to be just north of Aldingbrook, Mike, where you and I of
Really?
course,
Is it
had
still
many
there?
Summers.
There
I
is a
don't know
Detroit
if it is.
curling club still exists. I don't
Yeah,
know
it
if
was
it's
in
the
West
same
Bloomfield.
Didn't someone invite us to it last Winter Olympics
God,
when we were
it sounds
talking about
familiar. And
curling?
you know what? Somebody invited E and I to drive a Zamboni.
I
I would
know.
like to reopen that invitation if we could.
Yeah.
Guy out there, if you're still doing the Zamboni thing, let us know because I'd love to tool around. In
Was
one
that
of those.
at a real rink like Joe Louis, or was that just at like?
No, it was like I don't know. It was like Fraser Ice Rink or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
This is where it looks like it is now. I don't know, kind of by Ferndale.
I
but-
swear someone invited us to do this one time.
Well, I will. Before I did the one time last year, or not last year, but 4 years ago, for the Olympics, they had a thing up in Lansing that they because of the Lansing Curling Club had like a day where they're like trying to get the regular population because we're all seeing the Olympics, and they're like, oh, come. We have a day where we'll come and kind of give
Yeah.
you a trial or whatever.
Yeah.
It was way harder, at least for me, than you'd realize. Like getting the balance, like when they were having people do it.
So
they were
who should
giving-
be if the three of us are on a curling team? Who should be the rock guy?
Jay?
Jay should be rock guy. And we're
I'm
broom
probably
guys.
the only one who can bend down like that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if we're being honest.
I think I can
can-
bend down, but I can't hold it probably. But
Yeah.
They gave
you,
us.
you do a better on all fours, definitely. But in terms of bending down and
Yeah, and then
Letting it glide.
release.
Yeah.
Just release.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, they
I'll
gave us-
curl the stone.
I want to be front broom guy, and the E will be behind me, yelling broom, 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 and I'll just keep fucking brooming.
Dude, I have a curling stone at home.
You do?
Stole it from somewhere. I don't
Oh,
know.
excellent, nice.
Those are friggin'
40
heavy,
pounds,
man.
They
man.
are
Yeah.
40 pounds.
Used
Yeah.
it as a doorstop for a while.
Wow. Well, I didn't even know curling was going on yesterday, but
Well, there's been it was mixed doubles. Then it's going to move into the regular curling later in the week, I guess. I don't know.
How are we as a nation?
We did bad actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Our mixed
Not our
doubles
strong
pairing
suit.
was a brother sister.
See, a lot of brother sisters in the Olympics, don't you?
yeah, what are they? The Shib Sibs or whatever, the dance team. It's always weird when you see a guy like picking his sister up,
Oh,
like
totally.
so close to the vagine,
Yeah.
and twirling her around.
It's like
this
Blades of
romantic-
Glory,
Yeah,
man.
it's just kind of odd.
Yeah, they did not do good. They actually lost. Like they didn't even make it to the tournament part. They lost in the free, in like what do you call that? Free
Preliminary or something.
Yeah, just really
that's
round robin.
humiliating.
Round robin.
Now I got you.
Anyway, we did have some good news yesterday. Jay, you mentioned it in the open. Mirai Nagasu.
I love her work.
Yes, first American woman, third overall to land a triple axel in the Olympics.
Who was sweet, man, right out of the gate.
Dude, 21 seconds in. Get that out of the way, because if you fall on your can there,
Well, that and, dude, it takes a lot of strength and shit, so I'm sure she didn't want to try that when she was tired. You know?
Yeah. Two Japanese women have landed that in the Olympics. I would have thought a Russian had done it. Like, the Russians are so good when it comes to figure skating.
Bayul, what's her name?
Oksana?
Yeah, Oksana.
Bayul. Is she still, she's not still doing it.
No, dude,
Yeah.
she was Tanya Harding year.
Dude, they had a 15-year-old Russian last night that just owned the place. Killed it. Yeah, Japan's Midori Ito and Mao Asada also landed triple axels during the Olympics. I thought, obviously she didn't land it during the Olympics, or we would know it, but I thought Tanya Harding landed a triple axel at one point.
It was a triple toe loop.
Oh, was it?
Or triple Lindy. I'm
Triple
not sure.
cow sow?
Possibly a Lindy or a cow sow.
Yeah. Honestly, I think she did at something like that. She was known for that. I don't know if she didn't try it in the Olympics or what, but yeah, they were going nuts when it happened.
Yeah, a lot of times they pull out of the thing. They'll just do a double or something. and they'll
Yeah,
be,
yeah,
oh, she just went for the double. She didn't feel it.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to cost
Yeah.
her. She was supposed to go for the triple cow sow there and pulled out of it. But yeah, good for her, man. They said that she's hit it, she's landed it in practice. She stumbled a couple times, And then to fucking nail it.
She nailed
on
it.
the biggest stage. Good for her.
Hey, got to tell you about the Hamlin Pub. 5 locations, Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and 2 in Shelby Township. Hamlin Pub offers a wide selection of craft beers. Most are brewed right here in Michigan. They have great happy hour specials Monday through Friday, 2 to 6, and half-off appetizers on Monday. Check out all their specials at all 5 locations at hamlinpubs.com.
And that's what I would have said to her. Like, if I was her coach on the ice, I would say, whatever you do, if you're going to do the triple axel, don't fall.
Don't fall. Make sure you land it. You know?
Yeah, like that's key, right? I mean, that's everything. Because if you land it, everything's fine.
You're going to score higher. If you want a higher score, we want a higher score, right?
Highest score wins.
I'd get agreement with my athlete.
Yeah.
You want to score high? You want to win this thing?
I do, sir.
Okay, you're going to want to land this thing because that's going to give you. That's going to render more points.
Are you sure I get the highest score if I land it?
Let me give you an example. Luge last night.
Oh, you're going to go there, are you?
German.
Is Locke still alive, or did he
Boy.
commit suicide last night?
You talk about the luge world is on fire right now with what happened last night.
It's stunning what happened last night in the world.
It's even filtered into the world of skeleton.
Has it?
I think so. I
Wow.
thought I saw a tweet.
Well, it doesn't shock me. Doesn't shock me that this would trickle into the skeleton world. But if you didn't know, the American team...
I even heard a tobogganer talking about
Get out of
last night.
here.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me. Honestly, the ripples were going to be far and wide. This was the tsunami of the luge world last night.
Wow,
I mean,
like how insensitive.
well, it's true.
Towards the tsunami.
Well, tsunamis have a ripple effect. They can hit multiple pieces of land all over the world. They're so powerful.
Believe me, E, when you hear this story, it's fitting.
That's okay.
And the Americans ended up winning silver, and I believe it was Austria captured their first gold in luge in 50 years. And Felix Locke for the German team. I mean, as far as locks go, as big a lock as you can get was that Felix Locke, the 2-time reigning gold medal winner in luge, his father is the fucking coach, for Christ's sakes.
Wow.
And this guy he's one of, you know, when they're talking about an athlete, it's like, well, this guy is top of his game. He's the, he's the talk of the town. He's the shit. He's everything. That's what Felix Locke is to Germany. He's the Tom Brady of his sport. And Locke is coming down. Everything is going swimmingly. It's the final round. He's laughing. He's smiling as the U.S. guy lays down a run and jumps ahead of him. And he's like, hilarious. How adorable. He's laughing and smiling. He hops on his little sled, and he starts luging. And I'll be honest, he's luging like a son of a bitch. I've never seen him luge this well right out of the gate. And for 3/4 of the luge, he's killing it. And then out of nowhere,
He went
Jay,
from luging to losing.
dude, he hits a wall.
It was stunning.
Oh, the place absolutely exploded. Cannot believe what we're seeing. He bumped the wall. Momentum is lost. The son of a bitch didn't even place.
It almost seemed fixed. It was
Yeah.
it was such an obvious mess
Well,
up.
I don't want to take anything from the Austrians or the Americans and say that it was fixed, but to see Locke just cooking along like that and then bump a wall, it was just... I mean, the whole world is just absolutely shocked at
The
this
announcers, oh my gosh, he hit the wall!
point. I can't believe what I'm watching. I can't believe what I just saw. The guy's being consoled. His teammates they were gobsmacked. Is it safe to say they were gobsmacked?
It's fair.
Yeah. Chris Masder becomes an overnight sensation. He's the American that laid down the luge run to overtake Locke before Locke. I don't know what he was thinking.
That's
but
awesome, though, for your medal count. Like, you need a few of these unexpected ones to
Yeah.
kind of climb in, because there'll be one or two that somebody gets hurt or something.
Yeah.
Or hits a wall themselves.
I got to say, man, like, he's getting a lot of attention. All these guys, you medal in something like that, you're not expected to. It's going to draw a lot of attention. You're going to get a lot of interviews. We're going to see him interviewed. And the amount of times that, as an athlete was thrown around there and, as a professional athlete and
As a sledder.
and I'm like, dude, you're just like laying down on a board and like cooking down a hill. Like whatever, okay, I don't know. It just felt strong to be so forward with the I'm an athlete.
I wonder
tag.
what sort of like core strength and shit that takes, Because
I'm sure it's a lot, but
obviously it takes balls. I mean, they are hauling friggin' balls
80
on
miles
the
an
track.
hour.
So, but I do wonder like what type of strength.
See, my thought on this, I'm sure it takes a lot more core strength than we'd realize. I think that there is a difference. It goes to my cheerleading thing that I've always been against, saying that cheerleading is a sport. I think it goes a difference between, I think there are people that are, there's a sport, and then there's just an activity, an event, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's obviously, like, Locke is obviously very good of the people that do this. But that doesn't mean it's the same as freaking basketball or...
No,
I
It
don't know.
doesn't demand as much athleticism. My question
Yeah.
is, how much does it demand? I'm
Yeah.
sure it demands some. I'm not Dude, don't look. Are you kidding me?
It's.
If you want to, be sarcastic
Luge.
or whatever, sure. Come on.
I know, but we used to get in this
Why doesn't
argument all the time,
everybody
like,
just do it then? Because there's
I might.
adrenaline junkies
Oh, I
out
might.
there who wouldn't
Mike
mind
could
going
also
80,
beat the
90 miles an hour.
Olympians from 1930 too, if you remember.
That's
like,
right.
the first
Well,
Olympic-
that's true. I
Wasn't
stand
he,
by that.
Didn't he pull this last
I stand
Olympic
by that.
round too?
Yes, he
where he's like, these
does.
guys don't even look like they're running that fast. Remember
Well,
that? Like the 2 milers
yes,
or
like,
and shit.
yeah.
They didn't.
Why don't they just speed up a little bit?
If you guys want to buy the hype, fine. I don't care. Whatever. Buy the hype. They didn't look
gosh.
like they were running that fast.
are we all in agreement that these are the best athletes in the world at these events? Like because
at these events.
yeah.
Fine. Yes.
So they're running as fast as they can. They're luging as fast as they can.
I know, but luge, like, I want to know how important the board is and the sled is. Because to me, like, the difference between me and Mazer, I think, would be that I would be going, ah! Ah! Ah!
God, I wish
The whole way.
And if
wish
it's
we could have you
BYOS, dude, if it's bring your own sled and you're bringing that tin saucer, you're toast. So there's got to be some standards, obviously, in regard to what kind of sled you're allowed to ride and what that can be comprised of.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're,
I
pretty
think
stock.
I think here's what the athleticism is. All right, hold on, I'm gonna try. to
Wait,
do
can you
this.
do this?
Yeah. So
Mike's lifting his legs.
So you've got your toes pointed, and it's like where I would be going. Ah!
Do you realize their toes, they have to
Like,
hold that up.
Hold on.
Yeah,
So
they don't have a
they
table
do-
to hold their toes up. Go ahead and just hold your hold your feet up while you're doing this.
But I don't have the board underneath me supporting
But
most
you have
of
a
my calves.
stool, I mean.
So the athleticism is this. Like you have to one toe goes forward. I'm not saying that's easy and anyone can do it. I'm not taking anything away from them. I just wish I had more information about oh, you have no idea. Like if someone wrote an
agree with
article and said,
that.
you think you know, but you don't. And, I was watching Tanith last night, Tanith White now, Tanith Belbin, doing commentary. She was great, talking about, I had no idea how much the detail mattered. You just, no, I knew how much it mattered, but I didn't understand to what level. When it's when they slow it down and they're look at her elbow at a 3/4. It has to be at
Absolutely,
1/4 this,
man.
and the toe cannot land at this. If it's off a 1/4 of an inch, it mattered. And I'm like, holy fuck, I had no idea.
Well, dude, whether so technical, and it's what sets them apart. Go back to track or whatever, strides and the way your foot is hitting the ground. All of that is very planned and very thought out and very studied.
I know, I'm understanding
These
that
people
now.
are moving like no other in the world, and that's why they're where they are.
Right. The argument can be made wow, your only thing is that you just ski
You have
jump.
to do
That's your
this with
only
your
talent.
toes.
But the argument cannot be made of how intense and how hard that is. The ski jumping. They were talking about it just like Jay said with the running, looking at their legs and where they're, where they make the jump and where their legs should be straight. And oh my God, it was a split second off that probably cost them 20 meters or
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
Well, Mazda for his part for Team USA, and he is the darling of Twitter today. Women are going nuts for this guy.
Is he hot?
Yeah,
He's
hot
just pulling
enough.
it.
What was his name?
He's
Sorry.
got enough shirtless images out
Bing
there.
this guy.
I'm sorry. What was his name?
Mazdzer. What did I say his first name was?
Well, that's
Phil.
probably enough.
Bob.
Chris.
Whatever.
Chris. He's one very bad run for Locke, but that's the sport. He bumped the
it,
wall.
man.
Fuck him. Locke, by the way, was consoled, you'll be happy to know, by the IOC president and huge luge fan, Thomas Bach, at the venue. Locke was a mess.
The best. Oh my God, this guy's an Adonis.
Yeah,
he's beautiful.
He's handsome.
This guy's beautiful.
I got to be honest. I thought he was a little chubby when I saw him going, and then I saw all these pictures on Twitter. I was like, oh, yeah, he's kind of an Adonis.
He's the perfect human.
yeah.
Look at this guy.
Well, it was just weeks ago he was hitting rock bottom, and he was not getting the speed he needed out of his little sled.
Yeah.
And in the true spirit of the Olympics, one of his Russian friends was like, "You can borrow my sled if you want. I'll give you my
Wow,
sled."
that's
yeah.
nice.
There he is.
What is this guy doing sledding, man? I mean, this guy could do anything he wants.
Well, maybe he's just doing sledding to get his name out there.
Maybe.
I mean,
He could have just posted his picture on Twitter and, I don't know.
As an athlete, this has been
This
his
guy's
dream
lovely.
since he was a child, 20 years in the making, and he's finally he's medaled at an Olympic game in a sport like luge. So good for him.
Oh my god! And he has a dog. So look at that. Look.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah,
I mean-
he's a pet lover. Yeah, they're going crazy about him being either a ton of other shirtless pictures. Show Jay some shirtless pictures. For
I saw
Christ's
one. I
sakes.
saw one.
We saw one. That's good enough for me.
Well, there's more. I mean, you could
Why would I need to see more pictures?
see if there's
of
any dick pics of him out there.
Too many Z's in his name, but other than that, I mean, he's
Dude,
perfect.
that's kind of dope though to have two Z's in your name that aren't touching
Manziel.
each other.
I've never seen anything like it, to be honest.
Mazzer. Luge. Look at it, poops. Lucky
Summers in
Here, 'cause Mike wanted
Rangoon,
to-
luge
Mike
lessons.
wanted to see it that
There you
bad.
go.
He's lovely.
Yeah. He's a illusion son of a bitch, too.
God.
Yeah, I guess the men are going tonight with the downhill, some snowboarding stuff and skiing stuff. I'll be excited for that. I'm way more into those dudes. So, hey, moving on to other topics. Ruth Bader Ginsburg speaking out.
She's doubling down on this Me Too, huh?
Dude, did she... I just feel like her Me Too was maybe the weakest hashtag Me Too of
Yeah.
all. Do you remember what
Wasn't
it
it
was?
something she was given like preferential treatment on a test or something? Or
Well-
some guy suggested that she have more time on a test, and she was like, "Oh, you,
Yeah,
you
no,
don't
you
get fresh with me."
Yeah, you're right. The
Did she go to
practice test.
Columbia? I think they all went to like
Probably
Princeton, Yale,
Yeah.
Columbia, Harvard.
Cornell, whatever it is.
Yeah. I want to say it was Columbia. And she was nervous about a test. And so she went to her professor and said, I'm nervous about this test, in her best Yoda voice.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, well, I'll give you a practice test. So he gave her a practice test. The next day, she comes back and takes the real test and realizes the practice test was the same as the real test.
Test nervous about I am.
Fuck me. She knew what that meant, obviously. Meant he wanted her to like blow him or something. Hashtag me too. Yeah. And so I don't know how she made that connection. She never laid a hand on her, never made a move.
He's got a Star Wars thing. I mean, most of us go for the Princess Leia and the bikini thing.
Yeah,
but
totally.
He goes for Master
Totally.
Yoda, whatever.
But she's coming out and talking. She did an interview at Columbia on Sunday and talking about the hashtag Me Too movement being here to stay. You know, it's too widespread. And it's amazing that for the first time women are truly being listened to because sex harassment had often been dismissed as, well, she made it up. She was asked if now was the time for Congress to craft new legislation to help protect women from ill treatment in society and the workplace. Yeah, that's what we need is government oversight.
Title VII.
What is Title VII?
It's exactly what you just described.
Really? Is that absurd? That's a
Read
dumb
what she's calling
question,
for
though.
again.
She was asked if now was the time for Congress to craft new legislation to help protect women from ill treatment in society and the workplace.
I mean, there's tons of workplace laws that protect women. But
Right, but in society,
Ill
so what does that mean?
treatment.
Like make
Ill
it
treatment.
Make it ill. What a broad statement, by the way. Ill treatment. So some guy's like, yeah, nice can, honey, from across the street. What, we want him arrested now?
Yeah.
Is that what we want Congress doing? Is that what we want? Think about that. We want the American government to meddle in society like that. It's just.
Yeah, if you're assaulted, you can either have them criminally prosecuted or you can sue them civilly.
I think you can already do that.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
maybe
really mean it this time.
Laws on the books, maybe.
My hope is that Congress will think about people, where the United States population now is, and I'm putting my faith in millennials.
Oh, boy.
Good luck with that.
Oh.
And then she goes on this rant about fucking Hillary Clinton. I'm so tired of these people. I think it was difficult for Hillary Clinton to get by in the macho atmosphere prevailing during that campaign.
What?
And she was criticized in a way I think no man would have been criticized. Sexism played a prominent part, and she emphasized that she
I
thought
just
the
so
country...
don't buy that. I just so do not buy that sexism played a part in that. We were presented with two shit choices, man.
Yeah.
Shit ass choices.
Why is that so obvious to people like you and I?
She was the
and
most
not,
hateable person on the planet, and Democrats.
and you ran
put
her
up.
anyways. You blacklisted, you blackballed Bernie Sanders. You fucked
That's who the
him
people
over.
wanted.
They did. And Bernie Sanders, Donald Trump, I think is a landslide win for Bernie Sanders. I think there are a lot of people that were on the fence like, fuck, dude, I can't vote for Hillary Clinton. That went with Donald Trump strictly because they could not vote for Hillary Clinton. That dude, I was feeling the burn. I told you that for weeks. I was feeling the burn. I might have
Mike was
easily
feeling the
leaned.
socialism.
I might have. You were going to go. You voted for.
I voted
Judge.
for Kasich.
You voted for Judge.
Oh yeah, Judge Gorsuch. Yeah.
Yeah. You were voting for Gorsuch, which is understandable. I might have felt the burn enough to lean that way. I might have. But there was no fucking way I was going to vote for Hillary. You're right. They left us with two dog shit choices. I think she thought the country was ready for its first female president and will be next time. Yeah, I would agree with that, Ruth. We've been ready. Stop thinking we're all such sexist,
Ready
racist
and willing.
assholes.
Put somebody good up.
Put someone great up. Put a couple great people up. I don't care
We
what
really
color they
deserve
are.
that. We have 330 million people in this country, and those are the two that ended up being our choices. That still is so remarkable to me. Just amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But people really believe that.
Just sexism.
What happened with her, besides the Russian bots, was just massive sexism. Basically, from what you're saying, basically is white devils were so sexist again. It's like that is so not true.
If that's what helps you sleep at night, sure, whatever.
Oh, I
It's
would
not
have
the
so
case.
much more respect for her. She went, hey, look, man, at the end of the day, when you really dissect things, she was a hateable person in the 80s, in the 90s, in the 2000s, and in 2016 as well. And,
Then how can-
you know,
Dems hated her.
You can point to the list of 30 things that she's come out with for why she lost, but the fact is she was a hateable person for decades. And so much so that a buffoon like Donald Trump won the White House. Boy, that says something. We need to do better when we elect these people.
Sexist. How can someone say that when someone like my sister, who is so not a Republican, was like,
Your vote for Trump was a hate crime, and you know it.
my sister, like, I would love to vote for the first female president, but she's like, my sister was like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So you telling me that's sexist? Is my sister sexist?
Dude, women overwhelmingly voted for Trump. If the narrative was true that was being pushed, that he's a sexist pig who hates women,
That's not true, is it? That women voted overwhelmingly for Trump?
I think
I don't believe that's true.
I think I think there was like white women or working women, married women, something like that.
Women with three eyes.
Women voted for Trump
Both of them voted for Trump.
more so than they did Obama, I want to say. I thought it was like a pretty. See if you can Bing it, E. So anyway, she says, and I wanted to get your opinion on this, Jay. She later stated that the conversation that she hopes that an equal rights amendment will be added to the Constitution in order to enshrine in law a standard parity between the sexes. Equal stature of men and women is as fundamental as basic human rights. I would like to be able to take out that pocket Constitution and say to my granddaughters, you see the statement of the equal stature of men and women is as fundamental as the basic human rights.
It's already there. You don't need a fucking amendment, man.
The right to free speech, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, equal stature of men and women.
I mean,
I'm like,
unless we're going to this,
We like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind.
that we're assuming, references to man
Yeah.
and human only refers to actual males.
right.
No, yeah,
I mean,
it's already there.
unless you're talking about one of the shithole countries around the world that don't have those equal rights for men and women. But dude, women have the right to free speech in this country.
They do indeed.
They have the freedom of religion.
That too, Mike.
They have that freedom of the press. I don't know what does equal stature of men and women mean. What does that mean? That statement, equal stature of men and women.
Well, she wants them to be. What do you mean? To have equal stature? I mean, to be equally valued and be able to,
Well,
go
then
about
do-
things equally.
Well, then do kick-ass shit and you'll get there. I have another Me Too, hashtag Me Too, by the way. I was thinking about it when I was in junior high. I remember my Spanish teacher
Yeah.
who would call me Miguelito Chiquito, which was my
There
cute,
you go.
my
Bam.
cute little Michael.
You're in.
Hashtag Me Too. Sex, this saw me as a piece of fucking meat, Jay. Terrifying.
I'm not sure about this women voting for Trump thing, but
Neither am I.
I was watching Bill Maher last night. I know, I can feel the groans going on right now. It is hateable to watch those, like, Uber, whatever, left or right shows
Yeah.
that are they spend the whole time talking about what fucking assholes the other side is, and how could they be so dumb and believe it? It's like, dude, you understand you're doing the same thing on the right? You do know that. I'm not blind to the fact of what Fox News is, but please, Bill, don't tell me that you think you're right and the other side is definitely wrong.
Everybody is desiring of an echo chamber.
Yeah, but he was talking about the hashtag Me Too world, and I was interested in his point on that. And he had a New York Times opinion writer on, Barry Weiss, And he was suggesting that the threshold for what is considered harassment is getting wider, and it's creating these unreasonable expectations. The lesson men are learning from the movement is to just shut the fuck up, because even when they say the right thing, they're attacked for saying something wrong. And of course, he was pointing to Matt Damon and others. He says, when you're wrong, even when you say the right thing, then I feel like a husband. This is what I always try to keep in mind when I'm feuding with millennials. I don't think it's the majority of them. I think it's the upper middle class who grew up screaming at their parents and it was okay. We all know those people, don't we? And they're just so fucking fragile. I think of them as emotional hemophiliacs, and the rest of us have to be super careful around them. They're going to bleed what is so great out of life. You can make anything 100% safe. Police state, safest place to live, but you're in a police state. We don't want to do that with love. We've spent our whole history as humans saying it's magical, it's serendipity. A lot of it happens subconsciously. We don't even know why we're attracted to someone. You can't legislate all this or rule it out of existence.
Well put.
Weiss acknowledged that she's been lambasted. She basically said, Aziz, she did an article, opinion article in the Times.
Who did?
The Weiss, Barry Weiss, the chick that was a guest on his show. And she got murdered for this opinion piece where the title was, Aziz Ansari is guilty of not being a mind reader. And people just hated her for that. So he said, or she says, the hard left is basically saying it's okay if a few innocent men go down with the ship, if that's what it takes to bring down the patriarchy. They have zero tolerance on the right when it comes to drug policy, but they love zero tolerance when it comes to sexual misconduct. Anyway, I agreed with Bill Maher on that.
Yeah, that was well put, man.
Yeah. I think so.
Because that's what we've been struggling with this whole time as these things come out. It's like, all right, dude, we're going beyond like real assault and rape here, which everybody across the board agrees is awful and inappropriate. And we're just simply getting into like boorish activity, you know,
Yeah.
Rudeness.
Yeah.
Wow, that guy was rude to me. He needs to
Piggish
fry.
behavior.
Like,
Yeah, well, and especially if you have a name, if you have any sort of a name, like it doesn't matter. Like no one would give a shit if you were like, oh, Bill at the bar told me he had a nice ass. But if you can tag that to a celebrity, you know, then we
James
all,
Franco, whoever it is, right?
right. And it's lashing out in other parts too. And I don't know where this ends, but are you going to take Tiny Girl to see Peter Rabbit?
My little tiny girl has not mentioned the Bun Bun, so until it's mentioned, I will not consider it.
Oh, she's going to see commercials. Although it's drawing some heat right now.
Oh, I
don't know if you
heard.
saw that.
Oh, I heard.
It's pretty ugly, man. I don't know Peter Rabbit. Peter, please, Peter.
He's the guy who stole all the shit from Farmer McGregor or some shit, right?
Yeah,
He'd sneak in. He's kind of a badass.
Was he?
He'd
See
go
that?
hopping away, kind of like hoo-hoo, you know.
I'm trying to remember how the story goes, though. I know I read it as a kid.
Boy, I think the actual story is pretty grim. Like a lot
All
of
of
those,
them are.
you know, a
Yeah.
lot of those nursery rhymes and shit. Like
Yeah.
have some really grim endings.
Hansel and Gretel, dude.
Oh, yeah, being baked in an oven by a witch. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
But I think this is the same thing. I think Peter like gets his head cut off in a trap or some shit.
Really?
But I think the child version, the Americanized version, is just like this dude's kind of a badass. He's like playing with fire, you know, comes out of his little hole and steals shit from the farmer and kind of plays Robin Hood with it, you know, goes and feeds all his little burrow full of furry
boys.
friends.
Well, they say today's Peter Rabbit is a frat bro, code word for privileged white boy. He's a frat bro, raging narcissist, a vandal who escalates a feud into a truly sadistic display of violence. Fuck, it's a cartoon, man. I bet it's not meant to do any of that shit that you're reading into it, but whatever. Now the bunny character has been billed as a food allergy bully.
Oh no.
Yeah. There's one scene, and this is the troubling scene. Peter, please, Peter, and his bunny friends gang up on their nemesis,
Farmer McGregor?
McGregor,
Yeah, okay.
exactly, by pelting him with blackberries, even though he's allergic to them. Oh, no. Yeah. When one berry
Knowingly? They knew this.
must have. Why would they pick blackberries of all things?
Yeah,
to
why not the
pelt him?
razzmatazz, right?
Exactly. And so when one berry lands in his mouth, he begins choking, and then he's got his EpiPen, thank God, and he's able to inject himself with his EpiPen, and he's fine. The scene has prompted absolute backlash from allergy advocacy groups and parents of children with food allergies. Who said it mocked an attack that in real life could have proved fatal. Segment led to the hashtag. What would the hashtag be? You got Peter Rabbit, a hashtag and pissed off people.
Allergies. Obviously something with allergies, I'm guessing. I don't fucking know, dude.
Nice guess. Hashtag boycott Peter Rabbit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's going. I'm sorry. So Sony
So
Pictures, thank God, along with the writers, have issued an apology now. And I was waiting for this. I was glad when they finally did. It meant a lot to me. There was a joint statement of them saying that food allergies are a very serious issue, and the film should not have made light of a character being allergic to blackberries, even in a cartoonish slapstick way. We sincerely regret not being more aware.
Just insert blank here.
And sensitive to this issue. We truly apologize. We really do. The Kids with Food Allergies Foundation, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Wow.
Did you know that was a thing?
I didn't.
Condemned the scene, calling it disturbing. Such food allergy jokes are harmful to our community. And Kenneth Mendez is fucking livid, dude. He's the president. He's the president of the Asthma and Allergy Foundation. And he wrote an open letter to Sony Pictures. Sony Pictures Animation, Columbia Pictures, and Animal Logic, saying the movie suggests that food allergies are made up for attention. The very real fear and anxiety that people experience during an allergic reaction is a serious matter. Making light of this condition hurts our members because it encourages the public not to take the risk of allergic reaction seriously.
What you just described to me in terms of the scene does not suggest that they're like playing off food allergy as this made-up condition. I mean, it sounds like the guy was allergic, he had a reaction, and he used an EpiPen. I mean, it's arguably progressive.
An advertisement for an EpiPen. Make sure you
sounds
have
like
one.
it.
Make sure you have one.
I mean, if we're going to dig deep
shit.
into this and start reading into it, isn't that a reasonable read?
Well, that's not what Allison Wells on Twitter thought, Jay, because she was quick to at Sony Pictures. What a disgrace! Teaching children it's okay to bully and harass others with food allergies. Hashtag attempted murder. Hashtag food allergies. Hashtag boycott Peter Rabbit.
Do you want to revise your mention of Twitter as like a really cool, fun thing at the beginning of the show?
It's a nightmare. It's destroying society.
Stay off it. It's absurd.
Well, at least I got to read from Hydro Girl 171.
Awesome. What did she say?
As a mother of a toddler allergic to several foods, I am disgusted that Sony would make a joke out of flicking an allergen at a food allergic individual.
An allergen.
I got very thin skin.
Doing so as a felony, aggravated assault. What kind of message does that scene send to kids? Hashtag boycott Pete Rabbit.
The fact that the rabbits avoided jail time for it. It's not a good message.
No, it's not.
I think the matter has been dishonorably decided.
Well, Millie Bryant, I don't know. I think she's with you. I'm not sure. When she says, would you laugh at a person with diabetes, force-fed sugar? Would you?
Kinda. Yeah.
No!
I think I would.
No.
No, I personally would.
But that's exactly what you're doing in your movie, continuing to marginalize people with hashtag food allergies.
Dude, he survived, right? Well, how is he marginalized?
Mr. McGregor's fine. He's fine.
He's being mean to
to
those
this
bunny
day,
rabbits, I'm
the
assuming.
farmer's farming. To this day.
He's farming
You can
as
find
we
him on his plot.
as we
Farming
speak.
away.
He's tending to soil as we speak.
God, man.
You know, it's we've got
We need a good war. We need a good war.
we need something, man.
This is-
look, listen, Jay. Beth's nephew, the little wee one, has horrible food allergies.
Just a wisp of a nest.
horrible. You go over there for
But he got the
Christmas.
peanut everything.
You can't have anything, and any human food is off the table. You got to make weird stuff. And but you know what? It is what it is. It's like I understand how hard it is. You know, you go to that house, you got to wash your hands. You got to make sure your clothes are clean. There's no dog fucking fur on them.
Is he a bubble boy?
He's close.
Wow.
He's just so adorable.
Yeah.
He's just a little guy, and he's so cute. But you know, it is what it is. That's the reality of his existence. He's going to deal with that forever. It doesn't mean we're all supposed to walk through society on eggshells, try not to defend everybody's little tiny whatever. Everybody has something they're sensitive to. Every one of us on this planet has something that if someone said the right thing, you go, ugh.
Hits home.
It hits home. Everyone laughs when I go, very good. But someone with a parent with food allergy kid is going to be offended by the conversation we're having right now. And it's like people need to lighten the fuck up and just understand that you don't have a right to just go through life completely undefended forever.
Mike, in some rooms, a Mongolism joke will kill.
It will murder more times than not, I would argue.
In others,
you get that one fucking parent who's got a mongoloid for a kid, and all of a sudden the world's coming to him.
haven't I seen him before? Just doesn't go over well.
It doesn't
You know what I mean?
sit well.
Yeah.
Doesn't sit well.
Haven't I seen that guy somewhere?
Giant dick jokes. You're sensitive to them.
Sensitive to it.
You're sensitive to them. Fat jokes.
I'm afflicted.
Dude, could you imagine if every time someone said a fat joke to me on this show or on social media, I had some hashtag boycott, this or that? Like, dude, no, it is what it is. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. It is what it is. Fuck it. If you're fat, deal with it. Lose weight or you're going to deal with some fat jokes. If your kid's got allergies to food, I'm sorry. I don't want kids to throw peanuts at him, but, he's going to deal with that. He'll be fine. I hope.
It may be portrayed in a cartoon form at some point, and you're just going to have to deal with that.
I'm not suggesting you throw an allergen at a kid with a food allergy.
They threw allergens!
This is a disgrace. Shame on you, Sonny. Shame on you. Encouraging kids to throw allergens at someone with a food allergy. Hashtag boycott Pete Rabbit.
Man.
Let's take a quick break and regroup. We haven't heard from John Manziel in a while. Is it Peoplesell now?
Jonathan Manziel?
Yeah.
Peoplesell.
Is it Johnny
You're, of course,
Peoplesell?
Speaking of the quarterback extraordinaire.
Tremendous quarterback. Did you think when he came out he was going to be the shit, or did you see
No.
cracks
You and I
in that
both
armor?
thought he was going to blow.
Yeah. Isn't that great? Dude, I used to fight with people.
It's so obvious sometimes. You just look at these guys, you're like, no, dude, he's undersized.
No.
He doesn't have a cannon. He's not going to be effective.
Yep, he's great.
He's a fucking dick,
Yes, he just looks like a cocky asshole. He's not going to be effective. Anyway, he's coming out now. It sounds like he's going to try to make a return. And then we've got a 99-year-old man on the road driving an RV.
A Michigander, dude.
What could possibly go wrong? Get to that and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey, TDC listeners, this is Kelly from the Hamlin Pubs inviting you to our 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pubs' great food, drinks, and atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for a great night with that special someone, it's always a great time at our Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and our 2 Shelby Township locations. Hamlin Pub also offers party packages. We are the perfect spot for that rehearsal dinner, graduation, birthdays, or other events. For more information about our locations, including live entertainment calendars, go to hamlinpubs.com. Hope to see you soon, Detroit Cast listeners.
Detroitcast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
I could care less.
All right, welcome back to the Detroitcast, powered by DealsInTheD.com. Mike and Jay. And I understand the Obamas had big news, a big unveiling for their official portraits today.
What a thrill, Mike.
Yeah.
These are, I can't believe this is real.
Where does this go? Like in his stupid library or
Dude,
something?
I hope it's going in a stupid library and not like next to the Washington portrait or something in the White House.
Yeah.
But I don't know this to be true.
I know
I think these are like official presidential fucking portraits. I mean, this is...
I know they handpicked the artists. There was a black artist and a black male artist and a black female artist.
This is bizarre,
portraits.
Dude.
What is that? Him sitting in like
Wrigley Field?
Foliage? Yeah, it does look like vines out in Wrigley Field. Totally.
He's... you got to pull him up and see this, everybody. This is like...
Yeah, what is the point to these? And they had like big unveiling in front of people.
Isn't there a time and a place to go outside the norm? You know what I mean? Like, my man's the artist there to the left, obviously, wearing the interesting window pane suit.
Sure.
There's a time and a place for that suit.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not to, you know, your grandmother's funeral. Mm-hmm. There's a time and a place for that portrait, perhaps, but it's not for hanging in the halls of the White House.
Well, they know we have cameras now, right?
I believe they do.
Because like portraits made sense. There was a time when a portrait made sense. You know what I mean? Like, and then someone invented cameras, and
just take a picture.
Yeah, you could just like sit in the field
Portraits
somewhere.
are still cool. I mean, I don't. You have an issue with that, really? Like,
I don't
why
know.
not?
I don't know
I
what the
mean-
hubbub is about.
I think every president, there ought to be a traditional oil painting.
Oh Lord,
I know, dude. This is like so outside the norm. It's
that's an official
That's what I'm
painting of
saying,
the first
man.
lady.
I don't understand why she gets one at all, or any first lady.
I think
by
there's
the
a
way.
hall of first
Oh,
ladies.
okay.
Yeah, but she blew the guy that was running the country, at one
which
point.
puts her potentially as a candidate for 2020.
Well, obviously, yeah. I mean, what with her tremendous success running the health in schools eating program.
She grew a garden in the back of the White House.
She did. She sure did. And so I can't think of anything that would make you more eligible to be running the country.
These two portraits are ridiculous.
Which one do you like better or like less?
I just think, I don't know, man.
Because that one of her looks ridiculous.
Yeah, the one of her doesn't even look like her. The hip to waist ratio is way off.
Well, it looks like an art student in high school did it. It doesn't look like you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it doesn't look like a pro.
No, these things should be as close a depiction of the person as possible. And this person's like using blacks and whites and then, you know, you add a little color to the dress. It's just, it's out there. Again, time and a place for a portrait like that. But dude, if these are the official ones going in the White House, I object. I'm on record.
What is
hashtag not my portrait?
So, actually, there is a hashtag my NPG. Is that National Portrait Gallery or something?
I don't know.
Like, is there a? I mean, this has to be going somewhere. Has to be.
Jesus, have you binged it?
Hashtag my NPG.
While you
So
do that and
stupid.
figure out where these are being hung, our friends at DealsInTheD.com, they make buying or leasing your next new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV truly fun and exciting. When you choose Zot, you get the best prices, the largest inventories, foosball, fresh popcorn, and some of the hottest salespeople you've ever seen. Not to mention a world-class buying experience coupled with the finest ownership experience on the planet. Take advantage of all of this at any of the 4 Deals in the D dealerships.
Johnny Football, Johnny Peoples L. Some people know him by his, his woman-hating name, Johnny Manziel.
Mm-hmm. Is he slated for XFL 2020?
I think he has. I think he's got an offer or something with the Canadian Football League at this point. But it's time. We've gotten to the point now where it's time to start rebuilding the brand and try to work on getting back into the NFL.
Has he overcome his addiction problems?
I believe so. Yeah. He did an interview, pretty lengthy one actually, with Good Morning America. Usually those are 30 seconds long and they add nothing. But they did, 6 or 7 minutes with him, and it was pretty revealing. Says he was self-medicating with alcohol and other substances, assuming those are drugs. Can't say for sure, but all that he said was other substances. In 2016, that's when he got blown out for the Browns. He was in the middle of a 4-year deal, and 2 years in is when they blew him out. That's all changed now. Manziel told TJ Holmes that he is sober and on antidepressants after being diagnosed as bipolar. Yeah. He said that it was his mom, Michelle, who ultimately got him to stop his destructive behavior when she broke down in tears while speaking to him one day. You don't understand when people come up to us like, what the hell is your son doing? I didn't feel that until my mom said it. She just broke down. She was crying. I saw the trickle-down effects of what I was doing in my daily life that were meaningless and pointless and selfish. That was the push he needed to quit drinking once and for all.
Where do you think his talents will be best expressed? For the Calgary Stampeders, Toronto Argonauts, perhaps the Saskatchewan Roughriders?
I think he could excel in the Canadian Football League.
Hamilton Tiger Cats?
Sure.
Edmonton Eskimos?
Who's the shit in the Canadian? I mean, like
British Columbia Lions?
No.
Montreal Alouettes? The Winnipeg Blue Bombers?
Who did you say first? Who was the first name?
Calgary.
Calgary Roughriders?
Stampeders.
The Stampeders, the Roughriders, and there was another one you said.
Tiger Cats?
No.
Argonauts.
Argonauts, like those
They've
are
been a traditional powerhouse.
Traditionally. I don't know if they are now. People
Remember
might be
Rocket
laughing
Ishmael
us.
went there?
Hell yeah.
That's what you're hearkening back to when you say, oh, yeah, the Argos. They're
Well,
badass.
dude, I think they
Rocket
were.
Ishmael plays there like 25, 30 years ago,
Wasn't
right?
that something you'd be like, oh yeah, 9 straight years they've won the blah 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 trophy.
The Grey Cup?
Yeah. They've won the most Grey Cup championships.
17,
the
followed by
Argos.
Edmonton, the Eskimos with 14, and Winnipeg Blue
Oh,
Bombers
the Blue
with 10.
Bombers. Wow, I had
Sneaking
no
up there
idea.
with 10.
Yeah.
Blue Bombers have made the most Grey Cup appearances at 24.
Sure. I would have thought the Alouettes did better than that, than they had. Anyway, so I think he could excel there. I think it's just a
I'm not
half
familiar
a
with the league, really.
Everyone in the league has won a title, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
Well, it's called parity, E. That's what we're looking for. No, it's just the half step slower. Than the problem in the NFL is the speed, and Johnny Manziel being able to scramble and do all his Johnny football shit doesn't work in the NFL.
What about the uprights being right in the middle of the end zone?
Yeah, but then
He's
you've
gonna
got
have a problem with that.
But you've got double the length of the end
Yeah,
zone.
great point.
I mean, how do you not take advantage of
What
that?
do you have, like 8 downs or something?
Something like that.
Or
Yeah,
3? I'm not sure.
I can't remember. So he says in this interview, I thought it was making me happy drinking and get out of the depression to a point where I felt I had some sense of happiness. At the end of the day, he's saying at the end of the day way too much, by the way. At the end of the day, you're left staring at the ceiling, back in the depression and the dark hole of sitting in a room by yourself, being super depressed, thinking about all the mistakes you've made in your life. What did that get me? At the end of the day, what did it get me besides out of the NFL? Where did that get me? Disgrace.
Well, I'm glad that we can point to something other than him, bipolarism, as the cause of this. Not his personal responsibility, but, he's afflicted. I'm glad.
Well, he says...
Because I knew he was a good guy after all.
Yeah. Well, he says, at the end of the day, I can't help my wires are differently crossed than yours, Jay.
See, he can't help it.
I can't help my mental makeup
he
the way I was created.
Wasn't there a domestic violence issue? I don't want to speak out of turn, but wasn't there?
Yeah, but dude, wires were crossed.
Got it.
So
got it.
If that means you have to blacken an eye or two,
it excuses everything.
So be it.
See how that works?
Yes. Now the question that you asked is it sustainable? Me staying sober. That will be the case, and will that be the case moving forward? I would like to say yes, but
at the end of the day,
it's to be seen. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's to be seen. So. We'll see.
Don't they have like crazy motion rules too? Like you can have like 8 guys in motion
hell yeah.
running toward, just like the indoor league where you can just be.
Well, they
running
also only
toward the
have
line
3
of scrimmage.
downs. They don't
Is it
do
3?
4. Yeah.
Are we really going to act like we know what the fuck anything in Canadian football is?
I know they have 3 downs. That was and they have a center. Like they don't have a 50-yard line. They have 50-50 and then a center or something.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They have a red line, 2 blue lines.
I guess I don't know here. Look up how
they changed the rules. They're doing 3-on-3 in overtime now for 1 period, just 1. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, this is the beginning of the push to rehab Johnny Manziel as a football player.
I have a feeling it's not going to work.
Yeah, I just don't see the NFL being where that works. The NFL is.
But just because of talent, that's the thing.
That's it.
None of this has to do with any of it. If he was good enough,
It's not like he's Aaron Rodgers' talent level, sitting there just as a bipolar fuck up. He's a middling kind of quarterback who maybe could have latched on with the right team and had modicum of success.
And all the signs were there out of the gate, as in, like, it's about me. It's not about the team.
Stupid
And,
money sign.
dude, that money sign. It was like, dude, how can you be so like
Such
NFL
a douche.
executives do not want to see that out of what is 100% the leader of your franchise. It's supposed to be the face of your franchise. You do not want to see individual money sign flashing guy and problems off the field. It just doesn't work in that league.
Didn't
it just
we learn
doesn't.
that with Ron Tidwell and Jerry Maguire?
Yeah, but Tidwell was a receiver and a damn good one. Short, maybe, but you know
Show me the money.
when he finally got his shot and finally got
The Cardinals,
paid,
right?
Oh, of course it was the Cardinals. Yeah, a legendary career for Tidwell with the Cards. When he finally got his shot, he was able to show it off. It reminds me of Chris Carter. You know, drafted by the Eagles, had all kinds of problems, smoking weed, drinking too much, cut by the team, goes to the Vikings, gets his shit together, and all he does is catch touchdowns.
That's all he
now.
does.
It's all he did. Hall of Fame career. Manziel, running back?
Right.
You know, I
Hey,
don't know, man.
E, before we move on too much further, tell the listeners one way that they can help the show.
Please, E.
In your own words, E,
I would
please.
go with the sponsors that you hear us talk about every day. Zott Ford, Wasik, we mentioned today, Merck, trying to think, Hamlin Pub,
else?
and the rest.
Are you purposely leaving Kyle Mayer on the sidelines?
Wow,
No.
he did.
Jesus
Dissing
Christ,
Mayer.
man.
It's
I was
Mayer.
going to let it go with Lindell if he would have mentioned
Lindell.
Mayer, but he didn't mention
I'm Mike
Kyle.
Lindell.
Well, I guess that's a kind of a...
You tell me what you need, and then we'll triple it, and we'll call it a day.
A guy he's that generous. And
Right.
You forget him?
Right. Well, he's kind of
Oh,
under...
absolutely, absolutely.
I put that under a
God's got his hand in this, I
affiliate
just
link
know
and
it.
not a full, the sponsors that I'm talking
God's
about.
got
I
his hand in
suppose.
this, and I truly believe that.
My wife's really going to be upset about this.
My wife's really going to be upset about this.
The duck's warmth.
The duck's warmth actually saved my life because I passed out in the snow.
Passed out.
Oh,
So these people, all these fine businesses and
dude,
gentlemen
he's
that
a
I
Jedi.
mentioned,
Lindell is
Oh,
a Jedi.
Totally.
I mean, he just is.
I'm looking for some drugs here. Not, I could care less what you guys have going on between you two.
Guy had a sword at his neck.
I used to be a professional card counter.
He's a Jedi
what a
Knight.
story.
Finish your thought, E.
Anyway, my point was these fine gentlemen and or establishments like the Hamlin Pub are, ways you can support us by just going out and getting a burger or getting
That's
your taxes
exactly
done by
right.
Kyle Mayer. I mean, a burger isn't that much money. It's not like, it's not like you can't afford a burger and fries. So
We've provided the listeners many different avenues to help us.
right, you don't have to be a billionaire to support the show. And if you are, and you're not giving, well, if you're a
God
billionaire,
damn you to hell.
if you're a
Yeah,
billionaire, there's
son
a
of a
donate
bitch.
tab, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
DetroitCast.com.
Yeah.
If
fair enough.
what's his name? If what's a real rich dude down the street here?
Gilbert.
Dan
Yeah,
Gilbert.
Dan Gilbert is listening to this show,
the
and he
real
is not.
rich dude down the street. I'm sure he'll be impressed with that label you just gave him. You know, that real rich dude down the street. Fucking guy. Hey, I mentioned before the break, Jay, 99-year-old man.
All you gotta do
Did
is
you
say
s-
99-year-old man.
Dude, he's from Dearborn, right?
Yeah. He killed 2 teenagers.
I know.
Fuck's sake.
Driving the wrong way in
Cutest
Florida,
little
right?
girls, too. I mean, they just are. You look at them and it's like, oh my God, there's an entire life ahead for them.
There's a real chance they didn't even see him coming, dude. Gross, I know.
yeah.
But he's
No, they
tooling
didn't
down,
see him coming.
He's tooling down the wrong way on a freeway in an RV at 99 years old with a spry 87-year-old passenger, right?
75. You little
Friggin'
minx.
no headlights on, man.
Yeah. No interior lights either.
Oh, God.
Dude, this son of a bitch pops in the 4-lane highway going the wrong way in an RV at 99 with no headlights.
Here's the thing, though. Son of a bitch aced his driving test just
aced.
weeks earlier.
There was no driving as part of his
I thought there
re-examination.
was.
I don't think so.
I believe there was. There was a road test.
Dude, imagine this. Someone called and went, you got to retest this
I
son of a
know.
bitch. He's in
God
trouble.
bless that person.
I know.
There's not enough people like that who do that. They're, oh, well.
Well, even
Yeah,
a road
it's not
test,
gonna
by the
hurt
way.
me.
By the way, a road test. I've always not gotten this that anyone can just buy an RV. So he could pass even if it's a driving road test in a little
Yeah,
sedan.
you don't need a special license.
You
to-
can literally just
Yeah.
walk off the lot and drive this 100-foot fucking. Whoa!
And how about you, asshole? You're 99. Know your limitations, man.
Yeah, Walter Roney is who you're talking about.
Fuck you, Walter.
So records show that Walter had recently passed a re-exam in his home state of Michigan. Nice job,
He got
guys.
his driver license.
They said driver '*S license in the story. Yep. So it included a vision, paper, and road test. Okay, they say that he did. Someone reported him to the State of Motor Vehicles in September, recommending he be re-examined to determine whether he's still competent enough, even though he's had no accidents or tickets. They still were like, this is a problem.
Dude's 99.
He passed the test back on January 8th. So he's with his little whore, his little minx,
Sure.
his little side
Little
piece.
hussy.
Hussy is the word. He's 99. He's banging a 75-year-old.
Scandalous.
Look at you, you son of a
What
bitch.
a cradle robber.
Dude, 24 years his junior. Wow. Holy shit. Is that even legal? So he's got his girlfriend, Carolyn Elizabeth Evans Bruns.
Well, very scandalous.
Wow.
And so she's driving at first along the coast there in Florida, where, of course, Walt has a condo. Who doesn't?
Why wouldn't he?
What 99-year-old doesn't have a condo in Florida? And so they exit the highway shortly before 7 p.m., and Ronnie takes over the driving from her. Yep. Somehow, I don't know how yet, he somehow hopped on the eastbound, headed west in the eastbound lane, 4-lane highway. Yeah, and then we've got poor Cynthia Facetta and Brittany Poindexter. Wow, that's a rough name, isn't it? Brittany Poindexter.
Sort of like Peabody.
Yeah.
Peabody and Poindexter. Oh, boy.
But didn't Poindexter, like, oh, don't be a Poindexter.
Yes,
like, he
it was
said that in
another
school or
with a nerd, right? It was just you're a nerd. Poindexter.
I mean, I don't know what you
Was
do.
that a cartoon character or something? Where'd that come from? Or Revenge of the Nerds?
Maybe.
Was he named Poindexter?
Yeah.
I haven't heard it in forever, but I remember it. Poindexter.
Yeah. That wasn't like a character in a movie. It might have been a character in a movie, like Johnny Be Good or something.
When I type
Poindexter.
in Poindexter, it says
It was a band.
possibly Revenge of the Nerds, Revenge of the Nerds 2. Like, it's kind of...
Yeah. Well, we all understand what that meant. I mean, I think if I'm Brittany, I'm going, Mom, Dad, I love you. I'm going Brittany P. Dexter. For high school. I'm not going Brittany Poindexter.
Brittany nerd.
Yeah. And so Brittany Poindexter and Santia Facetta are driving on the road in a 2013 Chevy Silverado. Poindexter's riding shotgun.
Didn't have a chance.
And then Roney comes out of nowhere. Out of fucking nowhere. No headlights. This is a horror movie. No headlights, no interior lights. Driving a school bus, basically.
Just emerges in front of you.
Yeah.
You're just, doing what you do, driving along. All of a sudden, there's a wall there.
Just
with a
screams
99-year-old behind the glass.
And his tramp of a gold-digging 75-year-old girlfriend.
Did he die at least?
He didn't. He was struggling.
Of course
He was in critical, but he might have gone into critical that day anyways in the hospital.
Great point.
But as of now, he's still alive. And this seemed weird to me, too. Facetta, all right? She's taking classes at the local community college before graduating from high school. So obviously a smart
2
girl.
hours ago, it says.
So she graduates in June. She's already a junior in college.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, okay, she's going to work for Elon Musk, right? I mean, like, if you're that far down the road in college when you graduate high school, she's working
AP classes.
She's working towards becoming a kindergarten teacher. She was. She's not now, obviously, thanks to Walter. He's ruined that dream of being a kindergarten teacher.
We need kindergarten teachers, Mike.
Like we need holes in the head. Do we even need kindergarten anymore?
Jesus, did that say that he died?
It does look like he died a few
Good.
hours ago.
Thank God.
Sorry, I know that's...
Thank God. Oh, Walter. Oh, man.
Fucking asshole.
Do you want to do one more, Jay? I know you saw this story. The couple that sold all their possessions.
To buy a boat.
We're going to just take like a boat around the world and stuff.
Life's too short, man.
Dude, what?
That's awesome.
Like, we were thinking about it, and it's like, work sucks. And so, like, why would we do that?
We're meant to be more nomadic, man.
Nikki Walsh and her boyfriend Tanner Broadwell.
That's a great... Talk about names. Tanner Broadwell.
Tanner Broadwell and Nikki Walsh. They decided a year ago, like, dude, this, like, working thing sucks.
It's like Tyler Durden or something. It's
Yeah.
like perfect for Brad Pitt.
And so Nikki, who's 24 now, this is a year ago when she was 23, she turns to Tanner Broadwell, and she's like, oh, my God. Like, how can we, like, live our lives when we're working most of the day and you have to pay so much just to live. You know what I mean,
You
Tanner?
living to work, or are we working to live?
By the way, Tanner, I don't know if you know this, but most of the work you do, like, goes into your home and stuff. There has to be a better option. And there was. So they sold all their furniture and their SUV and purchased a 49-year-old boat in Alabama to live on. And then, like, we're going to, like, sail the world.
Why
and
not?
Stuff. This is perfect. Why didn't anyone else think of this? Fucking work losers.
2 days later.
So they move on to the 28-foot boat. Tarpon Springs, a little Florida town on the Gulf Coast there. Things are going swimmingly at this point. They lived there for months with their 2-year-old pug, Remy. Hi, Remy. Come here, Remy. And so, nearly. So then they stocked up on some food and some supplies because they like need to eat and like get brown circles for Remy. And so now they're ready to go. And so they get 2 days into their venture, and the boat capsized in a channel of water called John's Pass. And
Pilot error.
Well, local captains, local love boat captains in the area say that the sandbars shift all the time in John's Pass. This is just like what it does. So,
they rammed a sandbar.
Yeah, we started like freaking out because waves were coming and it was like tossing our boat back and forth. It sounds like Gilligan's Island. The weather started getting rough. The tiny ship was lost. If not for the courage of the fearless crew. Oh my God, the minnow would be lost. It would be lost. Before abandoning ship, Nikki said they grabbed some clothes and some important documents.
Important business documents?
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a lot of business out on the boat, obviously. Conference calls and the such.
Yeah, what kind of couple who's living off the grid has to grab documents as the boat is capsizing? Really?
You still have maybe your birth certificate and crap.
In your boat with you?
They don't have any documents.
Safe deposit?
They're living
Ever heard of it, E?
Okay. I'm just saying. That's what they probably are.
Well, let's just say they grabbed the important things. They grabbed the business documents and some clothes. And then Nikki was like, oh, my God, I grabbed some of Remy's food and toys. He doesn't deserve to go out without his favorite toys. That's a quote. That is a quote. She admitted that her and her boyfriend, oh my God, we're like sort of new to sailing, okay? The couple has been left with $90 in cash. That's not bad. That's like dinner for sure. If you can't do dinner for you and Tanner
at the Olive Garden
and Remy for $90, then you're not spending wisely. So they've got $90. We don't have any jobs. We don't have any boat insurance.
Go fund me, man.
Dude.
We feel for these guys, right?
Yeah. We still want to sail the world, though. So
they've got a dream,
man. GoFundMe.
Did they set up a GoFundMe?
Yeah, begging for help. Not to give up on our dreams. These are our dreams. Make sure we don't give up on our dreams. So GoFundMe.
These two people, what a compelling story. What a great place to donate my money to two people who don't want to work.
Yeah. The pair
That's their message. We don't want to work, man.
This gets better, too, Jay. Believe me. The pair are seeking $10,000 to rescue the ship, which sunk to the bottom of John's Reef or whatever it was.
The very depths.
Raising the boat alone is like $6,700. Or we could buy a new boat. Either way, you give us the money. We'll maybe just buy a new boat. We have a lot of family helping us, but it's hard when you've lost everything and we didn't get insurance. So, the pair seemed down and out. They still plan to buy or salvage another boat at some point and try again. That's what he put in the thing. You only have one life. Why spend it doing what you don't love? Money isn't everything. Unless you wreck your boat and you need a new one. Then money's really kind of important.
Couple assholes.
Dude, how do you fucking end the story with the quote, money?
Or out for an evening with your girl. It's always a great time at the Rochester, Clarkson, Chesterfield, and 2 Shelby Township locations. Russell and I were at Rochester the other day.
Nice. Yeah. Dude, is GoFundMe in the end, what is a great thing that these Kickstarters, GoFundMe, we've used them. People have used, what do they call it? Crowdfunding. For all types of cool things. I want to launch this product that I think will save humanity. I need whatever to do it. But we're getting to the point now where it's like, oh, my God, I'm a dumbass. Give me money.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I have a dream, and it doesn't include work, so, like, give me money. And people are like, oh, what an adorable story.
Yeah, oh, my God.
And we throw piles of money at these people.
They're so right. They're so right.
Is this going to have a negative impact in the long run? Because I don't ever see stories anymore where it's like Elon Musk is trying to raise $10 million to fucking go to Mars and help humanity in the long run. Like, never do I see those anymore. They're always, oh my God, someone died and we're like broke as shit. Can you pay for it?
Kickstarter is more centralized on artistic ventures. You know,
Right.
you have to have. They won't accept your project if you don't have something artistic about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So that I can see surviving forever.
Yeah.
Whereas GoFundMe, I mean, there is a use for GoFundMe for certain situations, but of course it's been abused.
But it's being abused. I fear that there's a whole generation coming up now that's all they know. It's just been there. And so anytime something happens to you, and if you can build a sad sack story around it, that you are somehow deserving of tens of thousands of dollars from strangers. And I don't know, man. The more I
not
think
everybody
about
gets it, so you can ask for it.
So many of them do. So many of them do.
There's
I don't know.
millions that get $1.
Yeah, maybe. They need to do better then.
Hey,
hashtag
TDC1000. We want to know about your favorite TDC moments as we fast approach our 1,000th episode,
Yes.
which will air this week. Also, email us at email@detroitcast.com. Unfortunately, Mike, we don't have time for email.
None?
So we'll leave it at that.
I rambled too much. My bad. I'm sorry. All right, well, let's shut it down there. And we'll do some email tomorrow. How about that? Will that make you feel good?
Sure.
All right, very good. Okay, guys, we'll kill it there. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you for joining us. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.